By the time your child turns 5, their brain has already reached about 90% of its adult size. 90% in the first 5 years. That means every bedtime, every conversation, every quiet moment you share right now isn't just parenting. It's foundation, connections forming, pathways strengthening, a brain laying down the base it will build on for the rest of their life. And here's what most of us never hear. A lot of what modern brain science now confirms about those early years, Japanese parents have been living for generations, not through apps or flashcards or expensive programs, through 5 small, quiet, daily habits. So simple, they're easy to dismiss. But they line up with what researchers keep finding, that in the first years of life, a child's brain is shaped most not by tutoring or genetics, but by the everyday emotional environment around them. The calm, the safety, the way the people they love respond to them, again and again. Let that land for a second. Not genetics, not tutoring. 5 daily habits, and any parent can begin building them into a home tonight. Now, if some of these words sound familiar, you may have heard me touch on them before. But today, we're looking at something different. Not how they calm you, but what they're quietly doing inside your child's developing brain. So let's begin. Most of us were taught that a good parent fixes things. The crying, the frustration, the waiting. That our job is to make the hard feelings go away. And we're good at it. We carry snacks, we carry phones, we carry a dozen ways to rescue a child from discomfort before it even fully arrives. But what if that instinct, the fixing instinct, is actually the thing quietly holding our children back? Japanese parents approach this differently, and it starts with a word that doesn't translate neatly into English: shoganai. Shoganai means something like, it can't be helped, or that's just how it is. But it's not resignation. It's not giving up. It's the quiet recognition that some things sit inside your control and some things don't. And spending your energy on the second pile only leaves you with less for the first. Now, here's where it connects to your child's brain. When a young child hits frustration, a toy that won't fit, a wait that's gone too long, their stress response fires. The amygdala, the brain's alarm bell, takes over. In that flooded state, the thinking part of the brain goes quiet. They genuinely can't reason yet. Japanese parents tend to do something that feels counterintuitive. They don't rush to fix. They don't hand over the phone or offer the snack or solve the problem so the crying stops. Instead, they sit beside the discomfort, a hand on the back, a calm face near theirs. No scrambling, no rescuing. And something gentle happens inside that child. The alarm quiets. The thinking brain, the part that handles self-regulation, slowly comes back online. Not because anyone lectured it into working, but because a calm adult lent their steadiness to the child. Researchers call this co-regulation, and in the early years, it's one of the main ways a child slowly builds the ability to calm themselves. Stay with me. This is the key. When we rush in and remove every struggle, we can accidentally teach the brain, this feeling is too big for me. I need someone else to handle it. But when we stay close and stay calm instead, we teach the opposite. This is hard, and I can do hard things, and someone warm is right here. That's not just a nice idea. Every time a child moves through manageable frustration while feeling safely held, they build a little more capacity for self-regulation, a little more resilience, a little more of what Japanese culture calls gammon, patient endurance with dignity. So the shift is this. The next time your child hits a small, manageable frustration, not danger, not genuine distress, just ordinary discomfort, try pausing for 15 seconds before you fix it. Stay close, let them feel it. You'll often find the storm passes faster than you expect, and on the other side is a child who's just a little stronger. Now, here's the second habit. Wabi-sabi. If Shoganai is about what we control, wabi-sabi is about what we value. It's the Japanese aesthetic of finding beauty in imperfection. The cracked teacup repaired with gold. The handmade bowl that isn't quite round. The thing that's beautiful because of its flaws, not despite them.
Now, what does an aesthetic idea have to do with your young child's brain? More than you'd think. A young child's brain develops through exploration, through trying, failing, trying again, through making a mess and figuring out what happens. But here's the quiet thing that can shut that down. A parent who needs everything to be right. When a child feels that perfection is the standard, the clean room, the correct drawing, the properly stacked blocks, something shifts. Curiosity steps back. Worry steps forward. The child stops exploring and starts performing. And a brain busy worrying about getting it wrong has far less room left for learning. Japanese parents, consciously or not, tend to leave room for the imperfect. The crooked drawing goes on the fridge and stays there. The spilled juice becomes a small shared cleanup, not a sigh in a lecture. The mess isn't a failure. It's evidence that a child is living and learning in that space. This isn't laziness. It's a quiet choice to value process over product, and children respond to it. When a child feels safe to try, safe to fail, safe to be imperfect, curiosity stays alive, and the brain keeps building pathways for creativity and confidence instead of anxiety and avoidance. So once today, when something in your home falls short of perfect, a meal that burned slightly, a drawing that didn't turn out, a room that's still messy at dinner time, try saying out loud what you're doing with it. This isn't perfect, and it's still good. You're not just being kind to yourself. You're handing your child a quiet permission slip. You don't have to get everything right to be worthy of love and attention. That's wabi-sabi, and it shapes a child just as surely as any flashcard ever could. And now the third habit, Kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement, but not the loud, dramatic kind, the quiet kind. One small step, then another. Change so gradual you barely notice it until you look back and realize everything is different. Here's why this matters in the early years. A child's brain doesn't grow in dramatic leaps during a single tutoring session. It grows through repetition, through daily patterns, through the same small pathway being used again and again, until what was once hard becomes automatic. Japanese parents apply Kaizen instinctively. They don't expect a 3-year-old to master patience in a week. They expect one small moment of waiting today, maybe 2 tomorrow. They notice the tiny increment, the 10 seconds of calm where yesterday there were 5, the one deep breath where yesterday there was a meltdown. And this does something powerful. When the goal is improvement instead of perfection, effort itself starts to feel good. The child learns that trying is rewarding, that growth is the point, not being the best, just being a little better than yesterday. So the practice is this. Pick one tiny thing, just one. Maybe it's waiting 30 seconds before interrupting. Maybe it's putting one toy away before moving to the next. Name it, notice it when it happens, and don't punish the misses. They're not failures. They're just where your child is today. Tomorrow, a little further. That's Kaizen. And over the early years, those tiny increments compound into something remarkable. Not because any single day was extraordinary, but because no day was wasted. The fourth habit is Ichigo ichie. It's a phrase from the Japanese tea ceremony. It means one time, one meeting. The idea that every moment is unique and will never come again. Treasure it, not because it's perfect, but because it's passing. For a parent of a young child, this lands differently than anything else. These years move fast. The bedtime struggles, the messy meals, the same picture book for the 100th time. None of it lasts. And the Japanese approach doesn't try to rush through it to reach the easier part. It pauses inside it. And here's the gentle science. When a parent is fully present, not half watching with a phone in hand, not mentally 3 tasks ahead, the child feels it. Being truly seen by a calm, warm adult lowers a child's stress and puts them in the state where bonding and learning happen most easily. Presence itself is one of the most nourishing things a young brain receives. Japanese parents don't necessarily know the brain chemistry. They know the feeling, the quiet ritual of being fully there, the bedtime done slowly, not rushed, the question answered with eye contact, not a distracted murmur, the moment treated as unrepeatable, because it is. So once today, in a small moment with your child, bath time, bedtime, the car ride home, try being completely there. No phone, no mental list, just the two of you in that one unrepeatable moment. It's not about getting it right. It's about not missing it. And the fifth habit? Hansei. Hansei is self-reflection, but not the guilty kind. Not the spiral of, I should have done better. In Japanese culture, Hansei is clear-eyed and kind. You look at what happened. You acknowledge what worked and what didn't. You adjust. No shame, no self-punishment. Just honest, gentle course correction. Here's why this matters for your child. Children don't learn reflection from being told to reflect. They learn it from watching you. When you pause after a hard parenting moment and say quietly, "That didn't go the way I wanted. Next time, I'll try something different." Your child is absorbing the template. Kids learn far more from what we model than from what we tell them. They're learning that mistakes aren't catastrophes. They're information. That growth doesn't require shame. It just requires honesty and a willingness to try again. And over years of watching a parent model honest, gentle self-reflection, a child builds a relationship with failure that serves them for life. Not something to fear, something to learn from. So let's bring it home. 5 habits, none of them complicated. Shoganai, let go of what you can't control. Wabi-sabi, value the imperfect. Kaizen, improve one small step at a time. Ichigo ichie, treasure each unrepeatable moment. Hansei, reflect honestly and keep going. None of these require a curriculum or an app or a special program.
They're woven into the way you respond, the way you speak, the way you move through your home, the soil your child grows in. You won't get it perfect. None of us do. But those first years really are a kind of foundation. And the habits that help build the strongest, calmest brains aren't complicated. They're just consistent. This is The Quiet Garden, where I share one gentle truth every week. Subscribe so the next one finds you. And tell me in the comments, which of these 5 habits feels most natural to you? And which one feels like the hardest stretch? Just the number, 1 through 5. Take a breath. You're doing better than you think.